Hello everyone, welcome back here to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. We are doing a live severe weather forecast here as severe weather is just hours away from occurring across portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley down into the southern plains. So we're going to get you the latest forecast of what you can expect as we do go through the day. Welcome everybody. Again, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to Weather on the Go. We do daily weather forecasts on this channel, severe weather live streams such as this one, tropical weather live streams, and more, including winter weather live streams. So again, make sure to like the live stream down below if you are joining. I do appreciate everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday afternoon or start to their Thursday afternoon out there. Let's look here at our enhanced risk of severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center updated at 11:30 this morning Central Time. We do have a 3 out of 5 on the scale here for severe weather across the St. Louis metro area, back here into the Ozarks of Missouri and toward Jefferson City, just to the east of Springfield. That stretches down toward Cape Girardeau here into Missouri, also down into the Clarksville region into Tennessee, Hopkinsville in Kentucky. That will lift north into Evansville, Indiana, and Mount Vernon, Illinois. Also, Paducah, Kentucky. Some of these areas that are in play for the enhanced risk of severe weather. This is a level 3 out of 5 in the orange. In the yellow shaded color, that's a little bit lower of a chance of severe weather. We have a 2 out of 5 on the scale here. This is a slight risk of severe weather. This is for Indianapolis, up there toward Fort Wayne, Indiana, back there to Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, back to the capital of Illinois there in Springfield. This is as far east there as Louisville, Kentucky. The Music City down here in Nashville has a slight risk of severe weather today. That stretches back toward Jackson, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, down here to Tupelo, Mississippi. That moves down here into the Shreveport region, Little Rock and Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Fayetteville and Jonesboro, back there toward Fort Smith, Arkansas, getting into the Texarkana region, back into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then down further to the south and west towards the Austin and San Antonio area here today. So definitely a large area of a level 2 out of 5 to a level 3 out of 5 for severe weather. And obviously the dark green shaded color around that is a 1 out of 5. That is a marginal risk stretching up there toward Toledo, over toward Crossville and Chattanooga, Tennessee there, and Knoxville, and then moving over there toward Lexington and Richmond, Cincinnati, all the way down there to the Birmingham, Tuscaloosa area, just north of Atlanta, and back there toward Jackson, Mississippi, and back there toward even the, again, San Antonio, Austin area into Texas. So a large area of severe weather today. Let's go through the hazards of what we could see. The biggest risk today is actually going to be large to very large hail. The Storm Prediction Center has an area of what they call a hatched risk for hail. This is basically essentially 2 inches in diameter hail or larger, stretching from St. Louis all the way back down here through Springfield, Missouri, through the Ozarks region there in Missouri, down into the Fayetteville and Fort Smith, Arkansas region. That stretches down into places of eastern portions of Oklahoma, and then that stretches back into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then into the Austin, San Antonio region. That is an area in the black outlined with dashed lines where we could be seeing those 2-inch or larger variety hailstones today. That is hen egg size or larger. Outside of that area, places like Evansville, Indiana, Indianapolis, Nashville, down there toward Louisville, into the Paducah region, Memphis, down there towards Tupelo, Mississippi, the Huntsville, Alabama region, back into Little Rock, Jonesboro, Shreveport, the Tyler, Texas area, Texarkana. You guys are outside of that area, but we still could be seeing those quarter-size hailstones or larger today. Let's look at the wind threat. We do have a wind threat today of 58 mile per hour winds or stronger, but we'll just go with 60 miles per hour or stronger here across this area. So a 30% chance of that occurring across portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley in and around the St. Louis metro, down to Paducah, down here in toward portions of Clarksville, Tennessee, and Evansville, Indiana. That stretches back there into the Ozarks region in Missouri. A 15% probability of 60 plus mile per hour winds stretching from Indianapolis back through Nashville into the Jackson, Tennessee area, Memphis, down here toward Tupelo, Shreveport, Little Rock, and then down toward Pine Bluff. Dallas-Fort Worth, Texarkana, and then stretching back again to San Antonio and Austin. And then finally, looking at the tornado threat today, we do have a decent chance for a few tornadoes, especially in this brown shaded color, again favoring the mid-Mississippi Valley. 5% chance of that across the St. Louis metro, into the Ozarks region of Missouri, Cape Girardeau, the Paducah region, Evansville, Clarksville, Tennessee. You guys all have a 5% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of your location there in that brown shaded color. Same thing, but in the 2%, you have more of the Nashville region, Memphis, Louisville, up to Indianapolis, Springfield, Illinois, over there into Champaign-Urbana, where the University of Illinois is. That stretches back towards Springfield, Missouri, into Little Rock, Jonesboro, and also the Pine Bluff area there, Fayetteville, down towards Fort Smith, Arkansas. That stretches back there into, say, the Stigler region, Ardmore there into portions of eastern Oklahoma, Texarkana back toward Dallas-Fort Worth, including some of the outer areas there of Dallas, the Plano region back there into Denton and Gainesville, potentially in towards portions of Paris, Texas, McKinney, all the way down here into the Austin, San Antonio areas, especially north and west of Austin and San Antonio. So a large risk of tornadoes here today, covering a lot of the mid-Mississippi Valley, the Southern Plains. And I did want to show you some updated products here on this channel for Weather on the Go. Check this out, folks. We have a new weather product that we are using. And looking at my severe risk scale for today across the mid-Mississippi Valley, folks, I do think that we have a medium chance for damaging winds. Like I said, across this region, this takes up the St. Louis region and everything there in that enhanced risk area. Medium chance for damaging winds, high chance for some large hail. I think we have enough instability up across that region. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Tornado threat and flash flooding threat will be low. These storms will be very progressive here. And again, we have a little bit of a low level jet across that region, but we're not seeing anything overly strong today for tornadoes. It's mainly going to be a large hail to very large hail threat, damaging winds, and then the tornado flash flooding threat will be secondary. Now looking here at the southern plains, you can see the cities on the bottom of your screen that are included here. Looking at the severe risk, again, medium chance for damaging winds and large hail. Those are your biggest risk areas there. Tornado flash flooding will be still potential there across portions of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Austin, Waco, and Shreveport, Louisiana. Those are just some of the bigger cities included in that severe risk scale. You can also find all of these new products that I do have and I made myself on my Twitter page. So you can see the Twitter page, or X, at the top of your screen there, pinned at the top of the chat. Make sure to go follow me there at Twitter or X at hweather420 for additional weather information. Also kind of wanted to show you as well, look at this, folks. I made my very own 7-day outlook. Right now, this is for Chicago. This is just an example, but this is the actual weather that Chicago, Illinois will be seeing through next Wednesday. So if you live in the Chicagoland area, take a look at this real quick here. You have a 90% chance of some showers this afternoon. High of the 51 there in the low 50s, and then you can see we're cooling off for the weekend. We have that frost potential. Also, great products here that I just made. Color-coded precip chances at the bottom. The lower the precip chance, the lime green will account for the lower chance of precip. Medium greens for a medium chance of precipitation, and then darker green for those 80, 90, 100% chances of precipitation. I'm very excited to unveil more products in the future, including my 5-day outlook, tropical weather outlooks, as well as my winter weather severity outlooks, winter storm intensity, ice storm intensity. Lots of great stuff coming here for my future live streams and videos on this channel. So I encourage you guys to all follow me on Twitter at hweather420 so you guys can get firsthand some of these products that come out, because each severe weather day, I'm going to be doing these type of products here on my Twitter page for each region that is affected by severe weather. So for example, the mid-Mississippi Valley region up here, you can see the severe risk scale. I'll be doing this every single time there is a severe weather risk, including tomorrow. There's a marginal risk. I'll be doing this again on my Twitter page, and you can follow me there for all the information. Cities included here at the bottom of the screen: St. Louis, Springfield, Evansville, Indiana, and Carbondale, Illinois. I'll always put the bigger cities in there as well, and the areas that are in that risk. So lots of great stuff here on Weather on the Go. Thank you guys again for being so great of an audience for me, and it really helps to improve my weather forecast videos, my live streams. Lots of great stuff here coming to this channel, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, Maggie, Southern Illinois is in the tornado risk. Absolutely. You have all three modes there, Maggie, in Southern Illinois for tornadoes potentially. The biggest, we'll go through the biggest risk here. So for Southern Illinois, the biggest risk is going to be hail, especially the closer you get to St. Louis and say O'Fallon, Illinois over there. You have a 30% risk of significant hail. That is 2 inches in diameter or larger. And then you see that extending back into the Ozarks, into southern portions of Missouri there. So you do have a chance for some bigger hail that could be up to hen egg size or so there in southern Illinois. Your second biggest risk is wind as well. You have a 30% chance of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts or stronger across southern Illinois this afternoon and this evening, and a 5% chance as well for tornadoes across southern Illinois. This does include the O'Fallon region over there towards St. Louis, Missouri on either side of the river, so we're keeping an eye on that. This does include Mount Vernon, Illinois, Carbondale, Illinois, and down toward Paducah, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, back here towards the Clarksville, Tennessee region in that 5% of tornadoes, back into Cape Girardeau there into Missouri. So those are the areas impacted by that 5% tornado risk this afternoon. You're 30 miles from Evansville, Indiana, and Carmi, Illinois. Okay, yes, Carmi, Illinois, you are in that 5% chance of a tornado risk this afternoon, 30% chance of 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater, and you have a chance for some up to hen egg size hail later on today and into this evening there. So make sure you remain weather aware if you do live in southern Illinois and in south central Illinois, up there toward the Springfield region. You have a 2% chance there of a tornado within a 25-mile radius there of Springfield, Illinois. So make sure you are remaining weather aware if you do live in any of the risk areas today. Zachary Smith with the $4.99. Thank you so much. I'm 30 minutes south of St. Louis. I've looked all day. What time do I need to be home before the storm? So yes, absolutely. I'm glad you asked that, Zach, because we are actually going to be going over timing for the storms. Let's look at the newest data here from the HRRR model and show you what you can expect for the timing of these storms all across the mid-Mississippi Valley, and then we'll go down to the Southern Plains region and show you the timing down there toward the Dallas area. So let's look here first at the timing, and let's get the latest model run in here just real quick for you folks. Again, if you are here, make sure to smash that like button. The more likes we get, the more people who join. Also subscribe here to Weather on the Go. I really do appreciate that. We do daily weather forecast videos on this channel, and also follow me on Twitter at hweather420. It's pinned at the top of the live stream chat. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go here, look at the timing, and we're going to put the time at the top of the screen. As we go through the 3 o'clock hour, we're already seeing storms blossoming, and actually before I did go live today, there was a severe thunderstorm warning back into central and north central Missouri. That would probably be for hail and some gusty winds. There was no tornado warnings that I saw so far, but these storms back here we'll be keeping an eye on across portions of Missouri, entering into the Ozarks region by 3 o'clock this afternoon. As we go toward the dinner time frame, 6 o'clock or so, we're going to start to see a broken band of some showers and storms, possibly even some supercells that could rotate from Springfield back through St. Louis and south of St. Louis for the area that Zach was talking about. We definitely have a chance for some storms coming in around dinner time. So Zachary, for your question, I think around dinner time, I think 6 p.m. onward. So we're talking mainly early evening is when we're looking at the timing for those first initial storms to be moving into your region. So this is 6 o'clock here this evening. As we go deeper into the 8 o'clock hour, notice there's kind of a fine line of storms moving through Bloomington, Normal, Champaign, Urbana, up there into Illinois, into the Springfield and Decatur, Illinois region. That stretches down toward the O'Fallon, Illinois, and almost to the Carbondale region as we go into the 8 o'clock time frame. Some of these storms starting to build back into northern Arkansas, so areas well north of Little Rock may start to see those supercells. We have to watch these individual cells this evening that start to develop in southern Missouri there and back into northern Arkansas. Those could pose a risk for greater tornado potential As the low-level jet will start to crank up, we have more of that flow coming in from the southeast. We have the cold front coming in, so definitely have to keep an eye on that across southeast Missouri, southern Missouri, and far northern Arkansas at around 8 o'clock this evening. Then as we go to around 10, 11 o'clock, notice storms will be knocking on the doorstep there in Indianapolis toward Fort Wayne, down there into Evansville. So it looks like the Indiana region, far southern Illinois, and western Kentucky, it'll be mid to late evening for your timing down here. So for the Evansville region, Indianapolis, and Fort Wayne, you guys will be seeing storms moving in 9, 10, 11 o'clock this evening. Same thing down here toward Carbondale and Paducah, Kentucky as well. And then look at this model of this latest data at 11 o'clock this evening showing a very strong, very intense supercell developing somewhere across northeastern Arkansas. This could pose a risk for all hazards. This could be very large hail here. This could be a tornado threat. This could also produce winds in excess of 60 miles per hour if this model was correct. That would be up there toward the Jonesboro, Arkansas region and north and west of Memphis and around the Little Rock area. We will monitor that later on this evening. Let's go back down here to the Southern Plains and show you some of our friends down here in the Southern Plains when the timing they can expect the storms and the timing here. I will note that the coverage of storms down here across the Southern Plains will be more few and far between. The cold front is a little bit less intense down here as it's pushing further south, and it's not moving as quickly this far south. And we also do have what you call an EML, an elevated mixed layer, which is a cap on the atmosphere. So that's going to suppress a lot of the coverage of storms. But here you go, 4 o'clock this afternoon. We do have storms entering into Fayetteville, potentially Fort Smith, Arkansas, down there into the Ardmore and Stigler, Oklahoma region there in eastern Oklahoma. We're watching out for some isolated supercells up that way. Those storms could pose a risk again for all hazards, but the main risk is going to be for very large hail, these individual supercells taking advantage of the instability in place, and we could be seeing over hen egg size hail with some of these storms very well. But notice at 4 o'clock this afternoon, there's no storms really firing down here toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area or down towards Waco or Austin or San Antonio. That's because of the cap on the atmosphere from the Red River Valley on southwestward. We'll keep an eye on the cap. If this does break, we may begin to see storms as we go into late afternoon, but we may be waiting here until about dinner time. Then we start to break the cap here. But does it fully break is the million-dollar question. Right now, this model in particular has it breaking at least to some degree, at least across north and northeast Texas. Central Texas is more of a question mark right now. So if you're down towards Austin, San Antonio, it's not a complete slam dunk that we see any thunderstorms today at all. Very well, the cap could hold strong. And what a cap is, folks, is basically you have warm surface temperatures, and as you go up naturally in the atmosphere actually naturally cools. But when you have a cap on the atmosphere, you have a very shallow, warm layer aloft, usually 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 feet up, and that prevents the base of the thunderstorm from developing in the huge cumulonimbus clouds that you normally see with severe weather and thunderstorms in general from developing really tall updrafts. And that is what the cap will actually prevent down in central Texas, especially this afternoon and early this evening. Going into the 9 o'clock hour, it does start to show that cap eroding and starting to break free across portions there of eastern Texas back into central Texas. If that does occur, and I think it will at some point by early to mid-evening, then we should start to see more thunderstorms start blossoming from Paris, Texas, back down to Tyler, the Texarkana region, especially the eastern side of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so east of Dallas, getting down there toward Austin, San Antonio. Some of those supercells need to be watched. This is 9 o'clock here this evening, and then fast forwarding it toward the midnight time frame, those storms will kind of march east. So down in Texas, eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas, a lot less coverage of storms, but more intense potential because of the cap on the atmosphere. If it breaks, these storms could really start to fire off pretty strong there. And again, we are really monitoring northeastern Arkansas. This model in particular is really starting to show that maybe a longer-lived supercell up in this vicinity between Little Rock and Memphis, and then getting up into the foothills of Missouri. We'll have to really keep an eye on that. That could be a real big supercell producing very large hail, damaging winds over 60 miles an hour, and some isolated tornadoes later on today. So that is kind of the timing that we are looking for across the mid-Mississippi Valley and down into the southern plains here today, folks. Again, if you are here, make sure to smash that like button. Let's get over 100 likes. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Consider subscribing to the channel. We did post a video earlier on here this morning. We're going to post another video tomorrow morning as well. So again, make sure that you are a subscriber here to Weather on the Go, as we have great weather content coming and a lot of great weather products. As I was showing you earlier, I am working on more of those this afternoon. So definitely designing a lot of great products for this page and enhancing a lot of my videos and live streams here in the future. So without your support, I couldn't do this. So I really appreciate everybody. Let's look here at our total precipitation as well, because this is important. I'm not expecting a really big deal for flash flooding here today, but I do think that we could be seeing some areas with heavier rain than others. So we're going to actually move this all the way through tomorrow morning at sunrise, and you can see through about 6-7 o'clock in the morning. There's 5 a.m. So look at some of the heaviest rains across these regions. So if we get that big supercell, say, into northeastern Arkansas, very well, we could easily see over 2, maybe up to 3 inches worth of rain if you get under those stronger thunderstorm cores that we do see with these storms moving through. More of a progressive line of storms up in Illinois, but a quick half-inch, maybe isolated 1.5 inches of rain up across southern Illinois into southeastern Missouri and into Indiana as we go through the sunrise time frame tomorrow. Into Kentucky we go. You can see, averaging around 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. Some areas a little bit less, some areas a little bit more. Same thing over here into Missouri. You go further south into like the Little Rock area, Fort Smith, Arkansas, into southeastern and eastern Oklahoma, and then especially down toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Shreveport down here. The coverage of showers and storms a lot more few and far between, so a lot of these rainfall amounts will just depend on where those storms set up. If any do develop, we could be seeing up to 1 inch of rain quickly across this region. Otherwise, maybe not even a drop of rain in a lot of these areas. Don't be surprised if you just stay completely dry today. That is definitely possible into especially Texas there, and even over into Louisiana. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that for you folks. So yeah, that's what we're looking at for rainfall totals. I'm not really expecting any major flash flooding here. I suppose if any area was at risk for any significant flash flooding potential, immediately would be around the mid and lower Mississippi Valley, in and around the Memphis area, getting down toward maybe Greenville there into Mississippi, and then up towards maybe, I would say probably, yeah, just those areas there. So yeah, we're looking at Memphis down toward Greenville. That would be the area of concern here along the Mississippi River in western Mississippi, down into northeastern portions of Louisiana or western Tennessee. So we're going to keep an eye on this kind of area right here for the Mississippi River. A lot of that drainage from the water there, it will drain into the Mississippi River and flow south. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that going over the next couple of days to see how that works out. But it doesn't look like a big flash flooding producer. A lot of these storms will be moving east. And then as we go into Friday, we have a marginal risk. We'll look at that here right now. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather on Friday. Not a big severe weather risk by any means. But we do have a marginal risk for portions of the southeast. This does include portions of far eastern Kentucky and southern West Virginia, getting into the Roanoke area there into western Virginia, getting into the Carolinas, so Greensboro down to Charlotte, Columbia into the Augusta region, and then back there toward the Atlanta metro, getting into Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, and then back toward Chattanooga and Knoxville there, Johnson City into Tennessee, and that extends maybe as far south as Montgomery, Alabama. We do have a marginal risk. This, folks, is a level 1 out of 5. So I expect a lot less intensity and coverage of severe weather tomorrow, but still a 1 out of 5 is still a risk. If there's a number, there's a risk. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go through tomorrow. I would not be shocked if we saw a smaller, like a slight risk added here somewhere in the middle of this marginal risk by tomorrow. That is definitely a possibility as we do get closer. But right now, again, that marginal risk in that area. The main mode of severe weather tomorrow will be hail and wind. So you can see the hail threat and the wind threat is just a 5% in that marginal risk area. There's the wind threat, 5%. The hail risk here is a 5%. And then looking at the tornado risk on Friday, there's so far not a tornado risk, not even a 2% chance. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if the 2% area did get added here in future updates from the Storm Prediction Center. But right now, there's no real chance for any tornadoes tomorrow. It's mainly hail and wind, and I'll put it back up on the screen for you folks. If you're in the light green tomorrow, don't have to worry about severe weather. That is just a general 0 out of 5, just your everyday non-severe thunderstorm risk there from Oklahoma, Texas, eastward there through the deep south and in towards the southeast coast. So just the dark green area we're mainly concerned about for some severe weather as we do go through the day on Friday. So let's see here. Who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? Where's everybody watching from? Thanks for joining here on this awesome Thursday afternoon. It is already April 18th. Cannot believe we're already into the third week in April here. This is crazy how fast 2024 has gone so far. It's currently sunny and warm here in Washington, Missouri. Thanks for keeping us informed. Yes, absolutely, Jamie. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everybody being here. Yes, the sunshine is going to help enhance some of that severe weather threat and the energy today. The energy levels will start to climb because of that sunshine, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that as we go through portions there of Missouri, especially the Ozarks region today. There is an enhanced risk for severe weather. We really will be able to keep an eye on that as we go through the day. Those storms, as they roll across St. Louis, they roll through Paducah and Cape Girardeau there, Mount Vernon, all those areas down there in southern Illinois. They could pack a punch with some damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. Potentially those very large hailstones over 2 inches in diameter and some isolated tornadoes are not to be ruled out across these areas today. So definitely make sure it's very good, folks. This is the correct time to do so. This is severe weather season. We are approaching the heart of severe weather season, late April, early May. It is now the time to, if you don't have a NOAA weather radio, make sure that you do buy one. It's very cheap and they do very well, especially when you're sleeping overnight. A very good tool to wake you up for tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings and such, sometimes even flash flood warnings depending on how you program them. Very good tool. Make sure to charge your smartphones, your smart devices like your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop. Just charge all your devices ahead of these storms in case you do lose power. Definitely, so you have more battery charge on those going through the rest of tonight, again, in case you do lose power in those areas. But number one, a NOAA weather radio is a very good tool to have during the severe weather season, especially here in the middle of the country, because I guarantee this is not the last severe weather setup we'll have. In fact, actually late next week, looks like another large-scale outbreak is possible somewhere in the middle of the country. I was detailing that out in my video here this morning, and again, I'll be doing that again tomorrow, updating you on that. For those of you just joining, again, we're going to go back and show you what we showed you at the start of the live stream here. Check this out. I've been doing a new 7-day outlook forecast. This is my new product that I am very happy to reveal to you folks that I did customize myself. This is just geared towards Chicago, but of course I could do this for any city in the United States. 7-day outlook here. This is actually the weather forecast expected there in the Chicagoland area this week through next Wednesday. And I did color code all of these products here at the bottom for precip chances. Light green for light precip for low chances of precip, medium green for medium chances, and then dark green for high chances of precip. Very happy to do that. The blue down here for low temperatures. You can see the days very clearly at the top, the weather icons, your city name at the top left-hand side of your screen. Lots of great work on here, and I am actually really happy to reveal more of these products as I finish them later on here this month before April is over. So, and here's another product I've been working on if you were just joining here. Severe risk scale. This is similar to what the Storm Prediction Center does, but different. This is kind of a risk scale for what I think may happen for especially my videos and the information I see. Damaging winds, large hail, tornado, and flash flooding here. The potential hazards on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see the general region we're talking about up here. The cities included at the bottom of the screen as well. For the example here, it says St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Evansville, Indiana, and Carbondale, Illinois. Those are just some of the cities of many cities that I could fit on there for the mid-Mississippi Valley region. Typically, I'll put the biggest populated cities in that risk area down here. But here you go. You got low chances in green, medium in yellow, you got red is high, you have magenta or pink is very high, and then a blue color eventually if we ever have an extreme risk. So we have a lot of great products that I'm happy to unveil there. So if you guys are just joining, just want to show you that again. Follow me on HWeather420. So more products will be coming out later this week and this weekend and throughout the rest of April. And you guys could get first front row seats to those products if you do follow me there on Twitter. I'll be posting a lot of those on there as well throughout the day and just more information as well. Let's see here. Angel, thanks for joining. Lightly raining in Jacksonville, Arkansas. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. Thank you for joining. Let's see here. Landon says Rolla, Missouri. Let's see here. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing that incorrectly, but let's see what the risk area is for you. Yeah, so you're in the Ozarks region there. You are in the Rolla, Missouri area, west of St. Louis. You are actually in a level 3 out of 5, an enhanced risk of severe weather. You do have a 5% chance of a tornado in your area here today. The biggest risk, though, is going to be hail. You have a 30% chance of hen egg size hail or larger in your area today there in the Rolla area there into Missouri. So make sure that you do have a garage or some type of cover for your vehicle, that you do pull your vehicle in if you are home today, because large to very large hail will be a problem. And then the wind threat, we could have a 30% chance of those damaging wind gusts over 60 miles an hour there into the Missouri Ozarks region. That does include Rolla into Missouri. Let's see here. We got another city in there, Cleveland, Ohio. So we go up here to Cleveland. I'm not really expecting much today in Cleveland. Actually, there's not really a risk of severe weather in Cleveland, Ohio. We go back to the categorical risk. You can see that's southwest of you toward the Bellefontaine region, Columbus and Chillicothe, back to Cincinnati and Dayton. They are in a level 1 out of 5 for that marginal risk. The Cleveland area and actually Toledo as well, you guys are all into a level 0 out of 5, just a non-severe thunderstorm risk, your garden variety type of thunderstorms there for today. If we go to tomorrow's risk for severe weather, there's not a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. So Cleveland, I am not worried about for any type of severe weather anytime soon over the next few days. So you are good there. Nothing to worry about. You got family in St. Louis? Yes, St. Louis is kind of in the epicenter of the severe weather today. Just make sure that they have multiple ways to receive watches, warnings. Again, NOAA Weather Radio is a great tool to have. I know it's during the day, but even during the day, the NOAA Weather Radio does a very good job in depicting, alerting you to severe weather, even if you are taking a nap this afternoon or something like that. Definitely a great product to have. So make sure you do warn them. And again, just give them a call, give them a text if they don't know. Anybody that lives in the severe risk here, even outside the enhanced today, if you have family members that live in Nashville and Memphis, down here toward Dallas, Fort Worth, or Little Rock, or even Indianapolis, just make sure to call them and tell them severe weather will be possible this afternoon and this evening, and that, tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail could be possible in some of these areas as we go through the day. Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Norm, for joining. I appreciate it. What about Austin, Texas, Kristen? Yes, down here into the Austin, Texas region, we are under a marginal risk officially, but the slight risk is really close there, up toward Waco and Killeen, and then over toward Kerrville. But Austin, you are officially in the level 1 out of 5, the marginal risk for severe storms. If we look at the hazards here, your tornado risk in Austin, Texas is actually 0 today, but the 2% is very close. So don't sleep on the tornado risk. There is still a very, very low chance of a tornado there. But mainly it's just wind, a 5 to 15% chance there of wind in the Austin region. The higher chance is further west, but the large hail threat very close to you. Literally just 15 miles to the west-northwest there of Austin, you have a 15 significant risk for hail over hen egg size. So again, if you do have any cars parked outside here in Dallas, up towards the Fort Worth area, McKinney, down there to Waco and Killeen, Brownwood, Kerrville, we're going to keep an eye on that. Make sure to bring your cars under cover in a garage or something like that. So hail may be an issue with that. So that's why we say to bring your car under cover. But yeah, for Austin, it's a low-end threat. If we look at the timing down here for Austin, Texas, let me take the outlook out for you folks so we can go over the timing real quick. for anybody in Texas. Again, the storms are going to be very few and far between. We're not really looking at anything too overly significantly widespread here into Texas at all today. But we definitely could have to watch out for some severe weather at times. Here we go through the 3 o'clock hour. There's a cap on the atmosphere today in Austin, Texas. So storms really won't be able to fire until about late afternoon or early this evening after dinner. And actually, these storms are going to be very slow moving. The cold front is kind of a little bit slower, kind of stalling out down here into Texas. It's not moving very quickly. So these storms that develop will be probably only moving 10, 20, maybe 30 miles per hour tops. They don't have a lot of wind shear, wind environment to move in down here. So we're just basically seeing some slower moving supercells. So we'll keep an eye on that. But if you get under one of these cells, very large hail, in excess of 2 inches in diameter, 60 plus mile an hour winds, and an isolated tornado threat will be there. This is through 8 o'clock. You see Austin still dry, going through midnight, maybe seeing some storms there. Right now, this model is not very excited on showing any storms in Austin. You very well could be one of those cities, including San Antonio and up toward maybe Tyler, Texas, even Shreveport in Louisiana, that may stay dry. You may not see any rainfall today whatsoever. That is very possible. Again, we did mention this earlier. Here between Little Rock, Jonesboro, and then over toward Memphis, we are keeping an eye on this. This model could be wrong. This is just one model run and just one model in general. Keep that in mind. But what did want to note that this model in particular is showing a very robust supercell developing sometime early this evening down here near the mid-Mississippi Valley. This could be a real long-lived supercell if it can attach itself and become surface-based. Damaging winds, very large hail, and even a tornado threat locally between Little Rock, Memphis, and up toward Jonesboro may be possible there as we go towards the evening time frame. And this could be later this evening, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that threat. Hello from the Netherlands. How is the weather going to be in Fort Wayne? Thank you for joining from the Netherlands. Absolutely. I appreciate you being here. Fort Wayne looks like here the storms won't be rolling into the Fort Wayne area here until about later on this evening. While I can't rule out a shower or storm early on in the evening, it looks like the Fort Wayne area remains dry till about 10, 11 o'clock. And then we start to see some storms rolling in late this evening there in Fort Wayne, including the Muncie area down to Indianapolis proper. That area around 10, 11 o'clock here this evening. And those storms will be weakening as they move east, but definitely could be seeing a brief window of opportunity around 10, 11 o'clock there in Fort Wayne for some damaging gusts up to 60 miles per hour and some hail quarter size. The tornado risk is there, but it's very low there in Fort Wayne. It's mainly a wind and hail threat, again, late this evening, 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock time frame for those storms to arrive there. What about Peoria, Illinois? Also new severe watch if you didn't know yet. Thank you for letting me know about the severe watch. I really do appreciate that. Let's put that new severe thunderstorm watch on here. So thank you. Who said that? Let's see. Nancy, thank you for letting me know about the new severe thunderstorm watch that I was not aware of. I really appreciate that. So yes, Nancy is correct. There is a new severe thunderstorm watch, and let's take this off the screen here. There is a new severe thunderstorm watch we'll get to. This does include the St. Louis area. So if you live in southern or central Missouri, into the two counties here in far southeastern Kansas, and then some of southern and southwestern Illinois, you are under a severe thunderstorm watch. This watch actually goes until 8 o'clock Central Time this evening, and this does include Joplin over there to Springfield, Missouri, up to Columbia and Jefferson City. This extends over to Cape Girardeau, up to St. Louis, the entire St. Louis metro area there. This includes areas south of Springfield, Illinois, into the I-70 corridor from Alton over there to Effingham, Illinois, Taylorville, down here to Carbondale near Harrisburg, Fredericktown, Rolla, all these areas here, Rolla, St. Robert, Lebanon, into the Ozark region, Poplar Bluff, West Plains, let's see here, Pittsburgh. All these areas are under that watch. Sedalia into Missouri. So just some of the smaller towns in there under that severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock Central Time. This does include the threat for some damaging winds and hail. Looking at the probabilities, there's a low chance overall for tornadoes in this watch box, a 20% chance of tornadoes, 5% chance of a strong tornado, so essentially a non-existent chance for strong tornadoes today. The main risk is going to be for wind. You have a 60% moderate risk of wind chance there today. You have a 60% chance of hail and also a 60% chance of hail over 2 inches in diameter here. The overall severe risk is pretty much certain in this area. There's definitely, if any storms interact in this environment, the severe weather threat will be maximized. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And again, thank you, Nancy, for letting me know about that severe thunderstorm watch. I really, really do appreciate it. But if you're talking about Peoria, Illinois, what about us up here in Peoria? That question there, I believe, also from Nancy. I don't think Peoria is going to see anything significant. As you see, the severe thunderstorm watch is further south. There will be some storms rolling through the Peoria, Washington, Illinois region, Pekin, up here to Chillicothe, Illinois, as we go through early this evening. These storms will just pack a punch with some heavy downpours, some frequent lightning, and maybe some small pea-size hail, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. All these hazards in Peoria, Illinois will actually remain sub-severe, so we're not really looking at anything overly strong there. I think it's further south towards St. Louis and Springfield, Illinois, where we have to be more concerned about that severe weather threat. So in Peoria, Illinois, we're not really worried about that as we go through the afternoon at all. Again, folks, just joining here, we're doing a live severe weather forecast for you this afternoon. We do have a new severe thunderstorm watch across the Ozarks region in Missouri and southern and southwestern Illinois. This does include St. Louis, Springfield, Joplin, into Columbia, Jefferson City, and Sedalia there, Cape Girardeau, over towards Effingham, and into Carbondale. So if you guys live in those areas, make sure you are weather aware through the afternoon and evening. Severe weather will be possible there. Servant of Righteousness, stay weather aware, everyone. Thank you so much for your generous $5 donation. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are joining, folks, again, make sure to press that like button and subscribe. We're going to do another weather forecast video right here on Weather on the Go tomorrow morning. Look for that between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. It's usually when I post my videos. And I go live for these severe weather forecasts before the events. So this looks like to be one of the last days of significant severe weather for quite some time. There is a threat for severe weather in the southeast that I showed you guys earlier on here a few minutes ago in this live stream. But it does not appear to be a significant threat. It's a marginal risk of severe weather. The next real significant chance of severe weather will actually be about a week from today. So we'll be able, after today, and especially after Friday tomorrow, a very strong cold front is going to drop south, folks, and we'll show you this here. I know you guys probably don't like hearing this because it is the third week in April, but we do have a chance to see some frost, even some hard freezes across the northern U.S. as we go into the next few days into the weekend. So make sure, another thing here, folks, is to cover up your plants, your sensitive vegetation. If you live in the upper Midwest, the high plains, even the central plains down here, especially into the Rockies, the Great Lakes region, the Ohio Valley, you guys are most at risk for the frost and freezes. I assume your local National Weather Service offices, the closer we get to the weekend, either today or tomorrow, will probably highlight areas for frost advisories and also freeze watches and warnings. So make sure that you are watching out for that. For example, tomorrow morning, here's 8 o'clock in the morning, folks. Look at some of these temperatures that we're dealing with. Minneapolis, St. Paul, temperatures down into a chilly mid-40s there at 45. Sioux Falls here around 41. Bismarck, folks, a hard freeze expected in Bismarck, North Dakota at 30 degrees for 8 o'clock there in the morning tomorrow. The Billings, Montana area down into the upper 20s, mid-20s, 26 degrees there. But even Lincoln, Nebraska, folks, we're chilly starting off the morning on Friday at 42 degrees. Over there to Des Moines, we're at 47. Chicago, Lakefront, a little bit warmer here because it's still got some warmer winds coming out of the south and east, but still 51 degrees there in Chicago and Cook County. Milwaukee 49 and up to Green Bay into the mid-40s to start there your Friday. Let's go to the Saturday morning commute, because look at Saturday morning, folks. 7 o'clock in the morning, look at that, 32 in Des Moines. We're up here into the Prairie du Chien and La Crosse, Wisconsin area at 31, 32 degrees, so a hard freeze for you. Up here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, this is Saturday morning on this is Friday morning on the 19th, and you can see we do have a 31 degrees there. Excuse me, I got this completely wrong, folks. I apologize. The one I'm showing you now is tomorrow morning, so I apologize. So this is Friday morning. This is 7 a.m., 32 degrees tomorrow morning in Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Des Moines area at 32. Like I said, Prairie du Chien and La Crosse at 32. Up into Bismarck tomorrow morning, it's actually going to be 27, 28 degrees. And then let's fast forward to Saturday morning now. And you can see on Saturday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning there, waking up for the weekend, another hard freeze and even colder. So 31 degrees there again Saturday morning in Des Moines, Chicago and Milwaukee at 33, Minneapolis at 31. 31 there in Milwaukee, or in Minneapolis, into the Sioux Falls region. We're seeing temperatures in the upper 20s. And then as we go into Sunday, we do it one more time. We do it over again here on Sunday morning. Not as cold Sunday morning, as we start to see a little bit more of return of some moisture and some warmer weather from the south, but still another hard freeze expected. So it looks like a lot of these areas across the north, the high plains, even the central plains at times, but the high plains, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, the Rockies, the northern Rockies, that would be. Make sure, please, cover up your plants. The growing season is underway, and we want to protect those beautiful flowers and plants out there to look good for the spring and summer. So make sure, again, to cover up those plants out there as we have some colder weather on the way for the weekend. And I promise you, folks, I think after this weekend is over, we are done with the frosts and freezes. I really am confident of that, so we can say goodbye to the colder weather till fall after this weekend is over. I can't rule out a brief cool down in May, but I don't think it will be worthy enough to produce frost and freezes. So that is some great news. And yeah, bundle up as well, as John said there into the live stream chat. Yes, bundling up as well, because it's going to be a shock to the system. A lot of us are prone to seeing temperatures already in the 60s, 70s, and 80s already this year. Waking up in the 20s and 30s will be a nice change, a little bit of a change from what we have seen. So make sure you're doing that. Let's put the outlook on here one more time for you folks, and I think we'll be wrapping up the live stream. We just want to come on and talk about what you can expect for severe weather through the day. Again, there is an enhanced risk still in place, and let me take the severe thunderstorm watch off. There is an enhanced risk still in place here across portions of downstate Illinois, and I did not do that. Let me see. Oh, that's why, the wrong one. Okay, there we go. We have an enhanced risk 3 out of 5 across eastern and southeast Missouri, including the Ozarks and the foothills of Missouri, southern Illinois, southwest Indiana, western Kentucky, northwestern Tennessee, and extreme northeastern Arkansas. If you are in this orange shaded color, including St. Louis here, into Carbondale, into these areas in the Ozarks, Evansville, Indiana, Paducah, Kentucky, down towards Clarksville, Tennessee. Make sure, and even Cape Girardeau there, make sure that you do have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings as we go through the day, as severe weather is likely in those areas. In the yellow, from Indianapolis all the way through Nashville, into the Music City there, into Memphis, into Tupelo, Mississippi, to Greenville, down there to Shreveport and Little Rock, Pine Bluffs, into the Stigler, Ardmore area there, into eastern Oklahoma, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Texarkana, Paris, Texas, all those areas, back down to San Antonio and Austin. Hopefully I got all of those cities that I can here. Make sure, again, that's a 2 out of 5. That's a slight risk on the scale. And then if you're in the dark green, you do have a 1 out of 5 on the scale for severe weather as we do go through the rest of today. Again, tornadoes, damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, and some large, even very large hail over hen egg size, 2 inches or larger in diameter, will be possible here, especially in the yellow and the orange shaded color as we go through the rest of your Thursday. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Nyla. I appreciate it. Yes, got my haircut yesterday. So thank you guys so much for your being very nice on here. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Seeing some clearing in northwest Arkansas on satellite. Yes, the clearing is going to enhance the instability today. You don't want to see sunshine on days for severe weather. That was only going to make thunderstorms a little bit stronger, because more instability and more energy that the atmosphere can work with and the storms can work with, the stronger they will be potentially. So definitely keep an eye on that. Again, if you have sunshine today, again, that is not good, because that means that's going to make the atmosphere more unstable, more instability to work with. And we'll be keeping an eye on that again, all right? Unfortunately, I'm not able to do live radar analysis coverage of severe weather tonight. I have a lot of things to do late this afternoon, including making a new video for you folks for tomorrow, and a lot of other things, including working on my weather products and a lot of other things besides that. So unfortunately, I'm not able to do that for today. We will do more radar analysis and live coverage for severe weather throughout the season, through the rest of April, May, June, July, you name it, all the way through the rest of severe weather season. So make sure you are a subscriber here on Weather on the Go. And again, just to show you one more time, I know I've showed you probably endless times already, but here is the new product, unveiling the severe risk scale for the weather on the go here. This is my new product again that I just released. You can see damaging winds, large hail, tornado, flash flooding, potential hazards, and the regions up here. Lots of great products here. You can see that for the Southern Plains region. And then my 7-day outlook. I also have a 5-day outlook as well that you guys can check out. Of course, you know, this is a prototype. It shows Chicago. It's a real forecast for Chicago, but I could do this for New York City, for example, for Los Angeles, for anybody. So lots of great products coming out. And again, follow me on Twitter. The Twitter handle is at the top of the screen, Twitter or X. Make sure to follow me there for more weather information. We'll keep you covered throughout the year on Twitter and X. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. All right. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody stays safe out there. I will see you all tomorrow on a video, okay? Tomorrow morning between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. Central Time. So thank you guys for being here. All right. Have a safe and wonderful rest of your Thursday, everybody. Stay safe out there. Goodbye. Thank you.